Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you a right for you, wrong for you review on the Disney card game Lorcana.
This is a trading card game that we picked up at Gen Con recently. We dived into it head first, feet first. We've
had a whole series of gameplays.
We've had a whole couples league where we each got to open packs based on winning and losing. We created our deck space to the best of our abilities.
We failed to find any other rare cards, which was disappointing along the way.
Yep. And here we are.
Yeah, time to talk about it. Time to let you know, first off, whether or not this is going to be a game you should add to your collection, and then finally, whether or not it's a game we are desiring to add to our collection. This is a right for you, wrong for you review. This is a review series we do here at Quackalope where we look at 7 categories to determine whether or not a game should be added to your shelf. First, we discuss the overview, taking a quick look at how the game plays and what makes it unique. Then, we take a deep dive into the theme. And here for Lorcana, there's not much to talk about. Finally, well, not finally, additionally, we talk about the accessibility, how quick and approachable it is to play.
We dissect the gameplay. We analyze the modes of play. We taste the innovation. And we captivate the price.
She's trying to add descriptive words like I do, but I'm a southern boy with a
You're so much better at it than me.
Desire to talk about anything with a metaphor or a simile that seems to make sense, but no one's ever heard before. I've been practicing that since I was about 20 years old.
Then we'll give you the comparable games, and finally,
we will belly flop into our verdict, letting you know whether or not this game is in fact
right for you, wrong for you,
right for us or wrong for us. Lorcana, Shira, give an overview of this game. This is your first deck construction game.
Yeah, this is the first trading card game that I have dived into. This is a game where you are going to be playing a 60-card deck with 2 different ink colors. There are 6 different colors that you get to choose from, and you are essentially trying to go on quests and accumulate 20 lore before your opponent does. You're going to be inking a card, which is going to be your resources, your mana, the amount of money that you're going to then be able to play out cards. You're going to play out cards, and then you are going to exhaust them and tap them to be able to either go on quests or challenge your opponent. Challenging your opponent will keep your opponent at bay. Going on quests is actually going to take you up and win. And so it's that balance between those 2 actions that you're going to do. You're going to play your cards and see what synergies you can combine. You're turning pages. Do you have anything to add?
Apparently turning pages distracts Shira somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
If you have ever played a game like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon the trading card game, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, it's going to be very similar in a lot of ways to those type of game systems. Resource costs, deck of cards in your hand, and an objective to win. And instead of taking down your opponent's life, you're scoring points, which makes it a little bit more of a solitaire puzzle, but still allows a bit of interaction between players. And it being Chapter 1, there definitely is a lightness to the overall structure of the game. It's designed to be a first-time playing, family, approachable style Disney game. It's not meant to be the crunchy, genre-filled, nerd culture, Magic the Gathering world. But I think it's going to walk a lot of people into the hobby space. So if you're familiar with those heavier games, and you want something that's on the lighter side, this might be right for you. However, if you're looking for something that's just as crunchy or has the potential to be just as crunchy, I don't know that Disney Lorcana is going to be quite that. However, if you've tried Magic, or you've tried Pokemon, or you've been interested in those but intimidated by the subcultures and the lore and the world that's built around them,
or you're trying to get some family members to play some games with you, your kids, a significant other who just hasn't taken that deep dive yet,
Lorcana might be the perfect entry point into not only this hobby space, that genre of gaming, but also the perfect gateway game to people who usually snub their nose at card games. I mean, after all, it's covered roof and mouth with Disney characters. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the theme.
You said there was not much to talk about here.
You know, it's funny because there is unique artwork, there are custom, custom artwork, custom named characters, quotes and songs, and a lot that's supposed to be here. However, the theme of the game, if you get down to the thematic overtones of the game, spending ink to tell a story that's combining all the Disney characters, there's not a lot here. In fact, the way that they actually have the decks constructed is you can't even build synergistic decks from one storyline. You have to mix everything in with each other. And so
That's been frustrating some people because they can't do an entire lined theme deck because there are different line-themed characters amongst all the ink colors.
And so you could certainly argue that there is some type of theme here. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like the theme of Lorcana is mostly Disney. It's Disney. You have Disney. You know the Disney stories. You've played the Disney games. You're bringing that theme and that lore to the gameplay. But outside of that, there's not much that I can see. I'm interested to see what else approaches, but I think games like Keyforge, even games like Magic, have much more depth and a richer understanding of the world that they've created. Whereas something like this feels like they're using the IP as an excuse to not have their own story. Mm-hmm. So, if you're looking for a game that is Disney,
this might be right for you.
It might be right for you. If you don't like Disney, you're looking for a story that does something else or goes somewhere else with the characters that you know and love.
Might not be right for you.
It's not here. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. Let's talk about accessibility. How approachable is this game, and how can you play it?
This is weighted 2.06 on BGG. This is a very accessible, very light game.
You know those strawberry candies your grandmother always has at the house?
Yeah.
Where are you
going with that?
It's about as complex as unwrapping one of those.
Yes. It is not very complex at all. You have a starting deck that they've already made for you. You can get up and going really easily. You can teach it to anybody. The mechanics we've already gone over. You're either putting a card down into your inkwell. The only restriction on that is that you have to look in the top corner of the card to see if it's inkable. And then you are going to be playing out a card based on how much ink you have. You're trying to get to 20 lore. It is very easy to teach. The cards are really easy to understand. They'll have some keywords that they'll then have an explanation on. The symbology is really great as well. There's the attack, there's defense, and then what you can quest for and how much lore you can accumulate.
I don't think we really had any core questions when diving into the game. It's very straightforward.
There are a couple questions that do arise when you put different cards together and how they will take down each other, what action comes first, etc., etc. But those are really nuanced, and the community has been addressing a lot of them online very clearly.
The other note is this game does not have to be two-player.
Yes, it can be played in multiplayer. We didn't dive into that one too much.
You could technically, I've heard, play with a room of 60 people. Everyone's going for lore and hitting across the table and stuff like that.
That sounds chaotic.
It's not really what it's meant to do. I think it scales up to, on the box, maybe 4 players.
There's leagues that are going to be happening, so you can play competitive against, like, in your home. You can also go and join a league where you can play competitively in a series and win some prizes.
So, if you're looking for a 2-player head-to-head game that is very easy,
Lorcana might be right for you.
Might be right for you. Let's talk about the gameplay. What in the gameplay makes this game right for you or wrong for you? Again, not how to play, but what makes it stand out. And I will tell you the key thing for me is the severe lack of card draw and deck cycling in this game. You might, if you're lucky, if you have a good game, get through 22 to 25 cards in your 60-card deck.
Yep.
In an average game, with some of the color combinations that you can do, in the starting decks, the demo decks they give you, I was going through 15 to 18 cards before the game cycle was over. I was top drawing by the point that I was on the 6th round of the game, and the game might last for 8 or 9 rounds. So 3 or 4 rounds, I'm sitting there drawing the top card and playing whatever it is. Completely takes away user agency. For me, it was the biggest thing that made this game wrong for me. I house ruled a few options. We deck built specifically to solve for it, and it was still a problem time and time and time again. Even after going through 2 full boxes of cards, 48 packs, and deck building as much as I could, I still had some games where I was top drawing more than not.
Yes, I would agree with you there. I think the mechanics that made this right for me were deck crafting. I am not necessarily... I've gotten shifted away a little bit from deck building mid-game where you're building your deck, but deck crafting was actually really interesting to me because I would get, in between games, I would look at the cards that didn't work for me, that I wasn't interested in, that I was always constantly inking, and then I would sub them out with things that I was enjoying playing more. And so by the end of our league, I actually had a deck that I was excited to see most of my characters come out, and I had to make those decisions of like, ooh, I really want to play you, but ooh, I need that ink. And so that mechanic was right for me.
If the game just gave me more ability to find those cards that I put into my deck, though, it would be much more of a satisfying puzzle.
Yeah, so some of the things that we talked about, that 20 lore seems a little bit too quick for me. Having not as many card drawing abilities, they have been mainly located in the yellow and purple decks. If I'm not mistaken, there might be a couple in the blue and gray, but the ones in the blue and gray actually like make you trade cards from your hand. So you're not actually getting.
You're not gaining. You're not
cycling through your cards a little bit more, but you're not necessarily netting positive, like Jesse's saying. And so that problem still exists. There are twerks that I'd like to see adjusted with the second chapter that will eventually come out.
I'd like to see it get deeper. I'd like to see it get a little bit more complex. But those are the big elements for me. In terms of anything that made this game right for me, really approachable, very quick playing. Sharon and I, we probably played, maybe 20 gameplays over the course of the first 2 weeks that we had it.
Yep.
Just going back and forth, mixing up decks, recycling it. It was really, really fun and really, really easy to get to the table with you, and I enjoyed that.
It's also something that we can take out on dates. Like, we can each take our deck and play it in, and play it out at a restaurant.
Sure.
If you have the app on your phone, you can keep track of your lore, so you don't really even need these flimsy pieces, I would say. Component quality is lacking there, but, it's a mass-produced game.
Yeah. So, if you're looking for a game that is easy to play, good for date nights, can bring you and your spouse to the table, and gives you the feeling of crafting and creating a nice deck, something where you're excited by the time you're, through a few packs to see what characters come out and see what you can mix into it.
This might be right for you.
It might be right for you. That being said, if you care about card draw ability at all, if you hate the idea of top decking, if you want to make sure that up until the final battle lines are drawn, you have agency over the game.
If you want comebacks, and if you want synergies, and...
We barely ever saw a comeback.
We barely saw a comeback until much later in deck building.
The only comeback that came while playing the original game was with me top drawing only.
Yeah. And that came out of...
the only comeback.
And if you want to see cool combinations between characters that come out into play, then this might not be right for you.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to modes of play.
We addressed that up at accessibility.
Yeah, a lot of games have solo mode, have mixed mode. I will say this. There's certain modes of play that game stores do, like multiplayer, up to 4 players, or there's leagues, competitions that you can play in, or sealed leagues or other things like that, where you're opening packs and it's all contained within store. There will be various ways to be part of this community that doesn't require you to spend too much money and doesn't require you to have too much knowledge, or requires you to spend a lot of money and demands that you have all of the knowledge of the game. However you want to dive into this, you'll be able to dip your foot in.
There's a big community that's growing around it.
Big warning, though. Big warning. Games like this are designed to be addictive.
Even the fact that they put the rarity of the card on the card is almost like we are showing you exactly how rare your card is to get you to want to open 20 more packs to find more.
There are going to be people that are so into this shit that they spend thousands of dollars making sure that their favorite deck is all shinies.
I have seen people already take a box and put it off to the side and said they're putting it in their attic for 30 years.
Yeah. So... there are people that are going to treat this like a collector's game, like a hobbyist game. There are going to be people that go obsessive over this. This is a Disney game. Retail stores that got access to this were selling this at 3 or 4 times their markup. We've seen cards sell for $2,000 or $3,000 before the market tanked, and now they're worth maybe a couple hundred at the most, if they'll even sell. This is collectible. Yeah, it's Disney. It is a card game. Maybe it will have legs, but do not get into this as an investment strategy. Do not get into this thinking that you won't get hooked by the little bit of addictive ideas they present to you. If you have an addictive nature, if you're someone who can't go into a store and say no to buying just that extra pack, you have a gambling habit or anything like that, collectible card games, trading card games are not right for you. They are designed to take advantage of you and designed to manipulate you. Why do we know that? Because both of us
already have that little bit of an instinct of
we are collectors. We both have addictive personalities and tendencies, and we're aware of that. And so when I sit here and look at this, I want every card. I want every card shiny. I'm the type of person that would spend thousands of dollars deluxifying my deck. Or when you said someone put it in an attic for 30 years, Yeah, I'm the type of person that would also do that. It's not the right decision to make. It's not a good use for your money. It's not a good use for your extra bandwidth that
Someone
you
was
have.
talking about how the industry has changed so much. And so back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago, when someone did do that with Magic the Gathering and it became a hot thing nowadays, the industry is kind of more aware of that type of thing. And so many people are going to be doing it that it's not going to be worthwhile in the end at this point.
Okay, so, modes of play. If you're looking for a game that's designed to make you buy it,
this might be right for you.
It might be right for you. Let's move on to innovation. Is anything about this innovative? I guess we'll have to wait for the lawsuit to resolve before we determine that.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, there's two publishers that are currently suing each other because the designer might have used a similar system in one design and another design.
Yeah.
I don't know enough to actually comment on that lawsuit, but
We were just being snarky.
I don't think anything about this game is innovative.
The only thing innovative is the
at
theme, and you just have to buy the IP and plaster it on. I don't think it is innovative. I
It
think attack,
is-
defense, abilities, there's nothing innovative.
You played Magic for the first time after
Yeah.
you played this.
Magic felt more innovative with the amount of different types of creatures that you can put out on the board. You have like the ones that come out temporary, the ones that are permanent,
Sure.
your mana, like
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is just scaled down that.
Yes.
And every head-to-head card battling game I've ever played after playing Magic, after it's existed for so long, is just a reiteration of what is currently the king of this industry.
Yep.
So it's not innovative, but it's Disney. So if you want Disney,
this might be right for you.
it's that. It's still that. Moving on to price.
Price
As much
is
as you
varying.
would like to spend, what do you think it actually costs to play this game really? To actually play it? Because the starter decks are garbage. Garbage.
I mean, I think where we are currently with the amount we paid is a good place to be in terms of the amount
So
of cards we have.
$550.
Well, no, that was for each of us.
You're saying individually?
I'm saying individually. I think maybe one box and
So 24 packs.
24 packs and
a
one
starting deck?
and a starting deck of each so that you have those base cards.
Okay, so we are saying that the starting cost
250,
of this game,
275 is a great entryway.
which is remarkable because we don't have that much in front of us here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost them that much to make.
Paper.
And when you think about board games, like actual
Well, we
board games,
have to take into account we did buy those deck boxes, we
I
did
know.
buy these binders,
I'm
we
just
did buy
saying.
the sleeves. The
you might be, but a box right now.
box right
It's
now I think is
$150.
$150. Yep.
So $200, $250 is not unreasonable in terms of what you're going to
Yeah.
get when you get started. You're probably going to grab a mat. You want to get a binder to organize stuff.
Yeah.
You might do card sleeves. Like,
Yeah. I would rather have gotten more cards, and I would have rather not had these IP components.
yeah, they're not very well made.
They're very, very junky, in my opinion. Like, I don't even use the binders anymore. I got a better binder that has sleeves for more cards. Like, when you open these binders, you have location for 4 cards here, but then middle, what are they doing here? You have, like, spaces that is just too big for anything.
I think they
That was
were
like
for the rules and
yeah,
stuff
but
like
then
that.
there's 4 of them, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8. You don't need 8 different rule books. And like the rules, yeah, they have little tips and tricks for each color. And then the deck boxes bugged me to no end because when you would open them, they don't stay open. They close again on you. The sleeves were annoying to shuffle with. They stuck together.
The
I've gotten rid of all
overall
of those things.
production quality on this, I love the artwork. The artwork is great.
The artwork is Disney though.
I know, but the artwork's also new. It is new artwork. I love the theme. I love the artwork. I love that they didn't just skin old Disney characters on top of it. Outside of that, this feels like a game that is designed to make them a profit, and a really good profit.
Yeah.
If you want to get started in Disney
Kind of
Lorcana.
even like upscale these. Like so many people are doing things with them, but the lore counter, they're
you can do
they're pieces of
people are
paper.
going to do them themselves. So if you are going to get started in here, we're saying about $200 will get you up and running in this game with a deck that is actually worth playing because the starter boxes are not the way to start playing this game. You will have a bad time, I promise you. It's not the point of the game, and they built them poorly. And I don't know if they built them poorly so that you'd buy more cards. I'm not sure. So with that in mind...
We did Magic starting decks, and the Magic starting decks were very, very cohesive.
Commander decks.
But like they were still like decks, pre-made decks. We didn't have to build them, and they were very cohesive.
So with that in mind, $200, $250 to get started in this.
That's a lot. There's so many more games that
I could buy half a copy of Kingdom Death for that.
Yeah, that's the game you're wanting to play.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Half a Kingdom Death.
Half a Kingdom Death for what you
Us
see on the
together
table.
could buy one copy of Kingdom Death.
Yeah. And the amount of replayability and the amount that we want to get out of it is so much more expansive. So if that all sounds right for you...
If you're comfortable spending that type of money for a game that you're actually going to play, a hobby that you're going to get into, by all means, go for it. But it's not a little bit, and it's not the first time they're going to dip into your pocket. No. We're already probably going to be spending another $200 a piece when Season 2 comes out.
Second chapter comes out, the third chapter. They do not have a cap on this. They can continue going forever and ever.
And they probably will. Okay, so with that all being said...
Comparable games, we've kind of talked about those. Any other trading card game, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. If you have enjoyed playing this light version and would like to dive into something deeper... check out Magic the Gathering. It's the classic in this industry.
Same warnings for all of those, though.
But yes.
I mean, they are dangerous games to get into. They really are. This is one of the parts of the hobby that snakes people.
Yeah. Danger.
Warhammer. Okay.
Verdict.
Is this
right for us?
Right for us, wrong for us? I have had a really good time playing it with you.
Yes.
But when I look at $500 spent on the stuff that's in front of me here on the table... I would choose to have my $500 back.
I'm a mixed. I said what I wouldn't want from here. Yes, I think the playmats are pretty, but I don't have a strong need for them. I think I can play on the table just as easily. There's nothing on the playmat that actually shows you where to put stuff.
I only want the playmats.
Really?
I love the playmats. I think they're beautiful.
I think they're pretty, but like people are making custom ones already that are so much cheaper. I have no need for anything besides the cards. I don't want these deck boxes. I don't want these components. I don't want these binders. I don't want the playmats. I just want the cards, and the cards I'm enjoying. And until you get me hooked on another trading card game,
that's the question.
This is going to be the one that I have the nostalgia for the Disney, and I really enjoy. I enjoy if me and you each take our deck with us, we can get up and running just like this. This is all we need.
I think for myself. My verdict, it's been a couple weeks since we've played. We've let it sit. We've let it rest. Unlike you, I'm not missing Disney Lorcana at all. I'm missing playing games with you. I like playing a cards construction game with you. I'm really, really excited to play Magic, and I'm still debating if I'm going to spend money on this next wave of Magic. I might try to sell some things or something in the house so I have that extra budget, but I really want to play Magic Sealed League with you because I think you'll get hooked to that even more than this. I don't think Disney Lorcana is right for me. Not until the game gets a little bit more complex.
I'm saying this purely from a fangirl standpoint. Like, mechanics-wise, this is not right for me. Mechanics-wise, I'm bored. Mechanics-wise, there is not enough variability within my own deck. After I play my deck 3 times, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Change it up. Yeah.
Like, I want a new deck. And so mechanics-wise, this is not right for me. I think... But nostalgia-wise, I really like the characters. I really like the artwork.
There is a lot... I mean, every bit of 30 years of indoctrination from Disney has convinced me that I love this.
Yes.
And yet
It is very interesting to see that at play in your own mind. Of like, this, the only reason why I'm still wanting to get this out is because, look, there's Fan the Flames. Look, there's Donald Duck. Look, there's Genie. There's Mickey Mouse.
And so, but like, I really think this is not...
Yeah.
While I think we'll continue playing it, and we'll probably still purchase it in the next season, and I'm excited to bring content to the audience and to the channel, at the moment, I don't think this is right for me. Yeah. I don't think this is a game that I should have bought or I should continue to buy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too far away from that. But I'm not letting you sell it either.
I know, but we're going to keep it. We're going to keep playing it. Disney wins. That's the lesson of everything.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Let us know, is this right for you? Is it wrong for you? Are you buying into it? Have you already bought into it? And Are you sad that we're not bringing you more coverage of it? Do you want to see Chapter 2 as soon as it comes out? Are you personally?
I'm curious their timeline because like they
I think
talked about
every quarter.
talked about this though back like a year ago.
That's true.
It took forever for them to get this up and out, and so like how long is it going to take to get Chapter 2 up? Like this is August.
I would expect something for the holiday season.
Would you?
Yeah,
Okay.
late October, November, something getting because this is going to be old news by Christmas time, and they want to have people buying this with like special Christmas packs and frozen packs that are advertising for the holiday season. They're gonna get as much out of this as they can.
Yeah.
If they were
smart.
If everything goes as planned, I am sure that's what they have down on paper. Cool. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Just play Magic the Gathering. Just
get out and play some games.
Just do that.
Games. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.